Hello. At least I'm feeling a bit rested. I've slept, just done a few editing, but I slept a lot. Baby has been very active, of course, because he fed at midnight. So he's been very active for the day, and I give thanks for that. So now, if you remember right, this is 2 times when I've thought it's going to rain, and the rain has passed. And now again for the 3rd time today, look at the clouds. It looks like it might rain. There's a very slight drizzle going on, and I don't know, maybe it's going to rain, maybe it will not. On that side of the sky, you can see some parts of the sky are clear blue. But now what happens is that here, because when it rains, it can get very serious. I can hear the children from here. I'm about 200, not quite 200 meters from the school, so I can hear them from my home. And they must be having today is Friday. Yeah, I think they have sports. So what will normally happen, like in the rainy season, and I don't know whether now it will still happen, the children might be released from school a bit earlier if they sense this kind of rain is coming, because a lot of them are walking home from school and they are walking long distances. And so I don't know if because I'm just in the garden, walking in the garden. Though I'm restful, I can't go very far now because in case the weather changes. Why does the camera resolution change? Because of the light on my back. Yeah, I don't like when it's like that. I prefer when it's like this. Yeah, so they might be released early. So I'm going to wait and see. I can see they are out. Yes, so they've been released slightly earlier so that they can get home in time and they can get home safely. Because some of them, the places they are passing, if it starts raining, I mean, there's a danger that these children might not be able, okay, of course, not just getting home muddy, but some of the roads might have those small flash floods, not big, because when it's like this, it won't be so heavy. But you never know, because of what I keep saying. The water that is draining from higher up in the hill where it's raining. And normally if you see that the clouds have been on for a few hours and it hasn't rained in Ruai, it means that normally the rain clouds bypass Ruai and then will rain in Rutawala, will rain in Embakasi, will rain areas of Kayole, all that, the airport sides, and then that water will drain down. So I'm hoping for the best, but I'm really, really praying. I'm really, really praying that it rains. Oh my goodness. Oh, the trees need it. We need it. We need to cool. At the same time, I'm kind of like thinking, oh goodness, isn't it going to spoil my plans? Because when it rains here in Ruai, you either have to walk with gumboots to the stage and then have someone bring them back home, or just go with them. A lot of times because I don't live with anybody. Most of the time I live alone. So what I'll normally do is that I'll just go with the gumboots all the way to the city center, and then you arrive and people are in clean polished shoes and they're wondering, where does this villager come from? And then usually at the bus station there are people who polish shoes for people. They wash and polish shoes, and they've gotten used to me by now. I'm accustomed with some of them. There are men who sit on a low bar stool and then they clean your shoes. They'll either wipe them or polish as you wish. And so usually what I'll do is, if I'm going into areas where I can't walk around with a paper bag with dirty boots, even if they are clean boots, I'll leave them with the shoe cleaner and then I'll pick them up in the evening. So for my outings this weekend, I'll see how it goes. Oh, I had forgotten. I have boots. Yeah, I'll wear the boots. If I wear the boots, that means I can go. Okay, not gum boots. I have boots, ankle length boots. So I'll put on the boots. It's because I bought them recently and I haven't worn them yet. I'll wear the boots. I'll be forced to wear the boots, which now changes my dress code, but it's okay for the activity that I'm going for. You'll see, it will be exciting. So I'm going to wear the boots, and then I know with the boots, since they are leather boots, when I get into the city center, I can have them cleaned. Sometimes what I do is that I carry a piece of cloth or a piece of what we call uhuru bag. Uhuru bag is bags that were instituted during Uhuru's government when plastic bags were banned. Amkamba, when they were banned in the country. So it's a kind of, the gate is not locked. Oh goodness, when you have visitors and they don't know what you're supposed to do. Oh isn't this Jesus who just brought me here? Yeah. Sasa. Oh yeah, the gate wasn't locked here, but my visitor wouldn't know. I just anyway, I'll correct that. So yes, so that's what happens. I'm going to put on the boots. If it rains, I'll be so happy because the plants, that will mean I don't have to water for another 2 or 3 weeks. It is still, it's windy. You can see from the trees. Yeah. One thing about having trees around the house is I like the sound of the wind passing through the trees. I really love that. And then I'm going to give you another experience. Some of you do not know the experience that we Africans have. Okay, I'm talking for Africans. I don't know about other continents. But those of us who live in houses that have iron sheet roofing, because when it rains, we cannot hear. We literally cannot hear much. Sometimes you cannot hear the person who is next to you, who is speaking next to you, because depending on how heavy the rain is, when it's falling on the iron sheets, it's very, very loud. And so things like for me, watching TV becomes, you'll switch your TV to the highest volume, you'll still not be able to get anything. If you have people in the house, and because like me, because I don't have a ceiling, oh goodness, it's coming on faster. I have to get those keys and lock that gate, because I might not be able to walk this path again if it rains for a few days. Ooh! This is how chaotic rain is for us, although we love it. This is the reality of our life here in rural Nairobi. I can hear the kids in the school screaming because I'm sure they're now rushing, they're in a panic. Oh goodness. But thank God, because the smaller children had left earlier in the day and they are already home. So these are the upper grades. Oh Jesus, I pity them. And that's why I was saying that, like the road leading to their school, you can imagine how chaotic it must be for them. And thank God today is Friday. It's coming to the weekend. If tomorrow was a school day, then they go home dreading having to come to school tomorrow because of what they know they are going to go through by passing that road. You can imagine I'm an adult, but I'm panicking just about, let me lock this. Yeah, the rest are locked. The goats being headed home. Yeah, that's a herder who takes up goats from different houses and then goes to herd them for the day, feed them, have them watered, and then return them to their respective homes in the evening. Yeah, it's around 3:30. I told you that's around the time when the herders are returning the livestock. Yes, this is what happens, the chaos. And then you can imagine that for some of these children, they are going to houses that are semi-permanent. They are cold. They might find food is not ready. Oh Jesus, have mercy on us. Poverty, poverty, poverty. So may be defeated in Africa. Yeah, I can hear them. There are still others probably still finishing their school activities or something. Others who would live nearby might not be in such a rush. But once this rains for a short while, you're going to see a lot of difference in the garden. Things are going to be flowering. So let me go lock up and then go to the house. I want to give you the experience of the fact that we cannot hear much when it's raining. I'm glad it's raining. We thank God for that. Okay, safely locked. I'm in. My dog is out. Let me see if I can get him in fast. I've decided I might as well just show you the chaos that are going to be on that road with school children coming home, instead of just saying it from afar. I'll get a bit trained on, but that's nothing compared to these kids who are walking so far. So bear with me. And mark you, if it rains properly, I'm going to come back here and show you what happens to this road so that you can understand what I was telling you about the path of water in this region. So yeah, that's now the kids coming in from school. I want to zoom in so that I don't capture them individually, but you can hear the sound here in school. I think there are those who are still finishing off. It was sports day today. There are still those who are still finishing off their games, their events with the different teachers. No, I don't want to infringe on their rights, so I won't zoom. Yeah, so that's children now rushing home. I don't want to get too wet, so let me go inside and then we'll do the rest of the experience from inside. Yeah, so opportunity catches you where you are. Just as I've come out to go and film the children with whatever the experience that they're having now that the rain is impending, I've met some people who usually work for me on the garden, and they've told me that it's okay this time. I can start tilling the land now in readiness for planting. I told them I'm skeptical, but they've told me no, it's okay. So Monday or Tuesday I've asked them to come, and of course it depends on availability of cash. But yeah, one thing I like is let an opportunity not pass me by for planting when I can. But though I'm skeptical, I'd rather have the seed on the ground and it doesn't grow up than have a rainy season bypass me and I haven't done anything. It's not, even in the eyes of God, that's not good. And me as a small scale farmer, I must grab every opportunity that I can to try and plant something. So fingers crossed for planting this season. I hope the money comes along. I hope the opportunity doesn't pass me by. And because right now my priority is the child that I had said needed to be moved here. But now schools, I think, with the exams beginning, since the child is not a student, is not a candidate, that might not be possible because I haven't gotten any assistance from anyone, and I can't afford that kind of little help, although it's so little. So yeah, I'll see if then now the gardening can happen, and I'll keep my fingers crossed that it does. All right, let's see in a bit. I want you to get that experience of what it is to live in a house that has iron sheets and doesn't have a ceiling, and then when it's raining, how it is. I'm lucky that at one point, what happened for the holes to come? Yeah, there's a time when we had a flash, like what do you call, like a flash tornado here, and it almost lifted. The goodness with my roof, you see how it is. It's where the sheets are. There's been concrete also poured on top of apart from nailing on. But that time there was like a tornado. A tornado. I can say that. I don't know what a tornado feels like, but that's what it felt and looked exactly like what we hear about tornadoes looking like. And it passed here briefly. Just started at 3 and ended, I think, by 7. But the destruction it did was the same as an El Nino rain. And because it came so fast, I had shut the windows. But if you're building in Kenya and you're buying locks for your window, just buy what you call chapia, the one that locks like a latch. Do not buy the handles, because in Kenya they have figured out how to get, I don't know what backdoor factory those things are being made, but the handles for shutting the windows, they break like they're made of cement or something. And that's what we had bought in our innocence when we first constructed our house, and almost all of them broke. And so when this like tornado thing happened, the windows broke loose, because actually what I can say is that the roof was breathing, and I learned that is how roofs get blown off buildings, because now the windows were opened suddenly and a gush of air came, and luckily it's only the sitting room windows, the front sitting room windows, the biggest ones, which got opened. The rest were tightly shut because I had tied them up with wire and string and everything possible, because it was such a nuisance. Windows could not close. And shame on you, all of you hardware stores that are selling these fake things to Kenyans, because it's also a security risk for people who do not know and carry these things home. Anyway, I think I'm going to show some of them here. Yeah, what they look like. It's very disgusting, very, 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 a very big letdown. And even for you, those of you who are constructing and you're not near your homes, but you're giving somebody the job to do that for you, please just check on what they're doing for window handles. Do not use those things. Verify that they are purchased in a valid store, and not only that, that they are packaged, that they're imported. I hate to say it, but yes, unless they're imported or they're made juacali, so that you can see it is actual metal. But if it is just something that is coated, painted, bronze and what, no, they might be breakable. If possible, try and ask somebody to break one. They break. They're made of cement mixed with something. What a scam. Anyway, so the windows opened, and then I was wondering, what's that is? It's like a heaving sound in the house. Can you imagine? I woke up, because normally what happens when there's a big thunderstorm, I run into bed. I mean, where am I going to go? So I came out. I had to come out and check because I live alone. And when I checked, I found that the roof was okay. Luckily, the house is well built. I give thanks to God because our house was well built. The pressure of the air was trying to push up the roof, but it would just raise the nails a little bit. So, but it kept on heaving. When the wind comes, it heaves up, then it comes. So I rushed, looked for, and of course electricity goes when you have such a thing happening, a big thunderstorm. We don't have power. Let me not even comment about that. Yeah, we don't have a power outage. It's a given. So I quickly ran, again, because I normally keep shoelaces, string all in one place. Took some strings and tied up the windows very, very tight. I have my solar lamp. Always my solar lamp saved me. I tied up those windows so that the heaving stopped. But after that, now I had to call somebody like 3 times to come and hit down the nails again, like nail down the roof again, because now it had that space where it could heave. So they had to nail down the roof, the iron sheets, and then on top of that, they had to put tar. It's like the tar you use on the roads. They had to put in the spaces, because the roof started leaking at certain spaces. Because you see, when it does that, it's an iron sheet. So when it keeps on constantly rubbing against another piece of metal, it expands a bit. So I had to get somebody come and beat down the roofing nails and then apply that tar so that the leaking could stop. I mean, due diligence everywhere. Due diligence is required. So these are some of the experiences. Also, if you're coming to build here, please be aware. The windows, the space beneath the roof also, you have to tightly seal that, because that also used to be, no matter what kind of space sometimes is left, even if it's this big. Number one, it can bring rats, mice, bats, the works, because they'll see any light coming on in the evening, and even during the day they'll sense where there are gaps and they'll come in. And then number two, uplifting, blowing off, your roof getting blown off, is if there's seepage of enough wind or air into the house. So be careful. That's how roofs get blown off houses. When there's enough lifting power coming in from all angles, because if it just gets a penetrating, a venue for penetrating, and it gets up a gust of wind that is strong enough, it just carries the whole roof like a piece of paper. But now when the roof is nailed on very tight, then that's not possible. Oh dear. Yeah, this let me not show, but I have some place where the sheeting is a bit loose, so it's going to make a lot of noise, and it needs to be worked on. But small thing, those are the challenges of constructing in bits. Yeah, that will be worked on. So let's wait for this rain. I pray it comes, and we'll see you in a bit again. So let me show you what I was talking about. You see, now I'm watching my own channel, and it hasn't even started raining heavily. So I'm putting up a high volume of 40. That's 46. Let's see if you can hear. Normally, I think at this stage there'll be music. Let me put somewhere else where I'm talking. Okay, now the rain has. Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, now the rain has reduced, but I want to keep on playing this and then put it at a very high volume when it's raining heavily, and then you can hear how the sound is when you're inside here, because then at that point you can't hear. Of course, now my little king wants my attention, and he can see the gimbal which he likes and the phone. So I'll do this again a bit later when it starts raining heavily, if at all it's going to rain heavier than this. Okay, so I'm standing literally next to the TV, and you can hear it's raining heavily, and I'm going to increase the volume. I have to hold the phone very close to my mouth so that you can hear me. Let's see.
Because Ruai is full of beautiful, beautiful sunshine here. So I decided to drain them fast.
When the TV is at ordinary volume, you see that you cannot hear. You have to increase the volume very high. And I'm lucky that right now the rain is not heavy enough to drown it off completely, because if I put it at increased level, okay, the rain has reduced a bit, and it's not raining very heavily, but that's one of the effects that we have here. I'm trying to shoot to tell you how it's going outside, but you can hear it. I have to talk very loudly for you to hear anything. It's not yet evening, and it's not even raining very heavily, but that's how now the sound is in the house when it's raining. So if you're talking to somebody, you either have to shout, or you just have to stay quiet if it's very heavy until it reduces. But like now it hasn't rained very heavily, but that's the kind of continuous sound that we are going to be hearing. So watching TV, we either watch at a very, very high level volume, or we just put captions, or we just watch with it in what you call, like, it's as if it's muted because of the sound of the rain. Yes, and at least I'm lucky because my ceiling is a bit high. For people whose ceilings are a bit low, the sound is even much worse, and so the ability to hear is much worse. So if you're calling somebody in Africa and they live in a house with that has iron sheeting, and they don't have a ceiling, and they normally tell you that they're not able to hear you, please be understanding, because this is what now happens. Because like right now, I wouldn't take a call because I might not be able to hear very well unless I use the microphone set. Oops. Little King is about to take something that might drop. Yeah, unless I use the microphone set, then I'm able to hear, but I don't want to go to that kind of trouble, because there'll still be that a lot of it in the background. It's early evening, so this is how it is. You can see the rain has soaked, but I can assure you it hasn't soaked. It has rained a bit heavily. It has soaked into the ground. So now it's going to be so muddy for us. And the situation we have here is that now, because we use an outside latrine, and I haven't put pebbles for the short distance going to the toilet, it also means that we have a bit of a hard time, but that is the way it is. But you can see the water. It has rained heavily enough for water to stand. This is the lower part now of the elevation of the ground, because that is the higher part of the ground. So for us to go to the toilet now, it's a bit of a distance, but this side has a bit of grass, so that is more bearable. It's not as muddy as this other side, which doesn't have any grass. But our future plan is that we are going to bring some. We wouldn't even put any stones for the now. We are just going to wait until we are doing the construction, because all of this part is going to be the back area of the house because our front is on the other side. And then on the front, we are going to put some paving stones, at least to be able to hold. Right now, if I was to come out of here and go just not anywhere far, but just up to the the small supermarket that is across the road from me, that one, I can assure you it's already so muddy. Just to go there to the nearest, which is just a few more, less than 20 meters away, it's going to be so muddy. I have to wear gumboots, or I'm going to collect very heavy mud in my shoes. So yes, this is the Ruai we live in, and we love it like that. You can see because of the extension of the roof, my wall hasn't gotten wet, but in heavier rain, the whole wall gets wet. So people, now I come to the end of the video for today. I'll just keep on recording what the rain, how it sounds inside the house. Right now it's drizzling just lightly, but like I showed you outside right now, if I try to go outside, if I'm to go anywhere, like tomorrow I have to wear the boots, as I said. I might even carry the gum boots. I mean, it's not even worth it. I haven't worn these boots before, so I don't know the comfort level. I'll see by morning whether I'm going to do a test, whether I'll carry gumboots or whether I'm just going to wear those boots, because it's not a joke in Ruai, at least in this side of where I am in Makongeni. When it rains, just getting to the bus stop. And the route that I usually take, the long route, which I usually bypass, I can't use that right now because you don't know at what point you don't have a place to pass. You're either passing, or you're just checking where there's grass and the ground is high, where it's a bit lower. You don't know where your legs are going to sink in, and it's going to get maybe to knee level or worse. So I don't even bother at all using that route. So I have to take the route that I don't take very often, but the one which I bypassed, the main one, when I was going to the salon. In the last video I did when I was going to the salon, it has rained. It has rained very well. I can't complain at all. The rain is not very heavy by very heavy standards, but it's heavy enough at least to water the plants and to remove the dryness of the air that was around in Ruai. So I'm thankful for that, but now it's a bit more colder. So for the little king now, it's a question of staying indoors all the time. And then also for us, it's about taking hot beverages. If there's something that I fear, it is the cold. I have to keep warm, stay warm, because getting a flu now means also infecting the baby. I thank you very much again, all of you, my viewers, wherever you're watching from. I keep on telling you my life is ordinary. I'm going to keep on trying to show you how I live, how we cope here. My life is ordinary but different from yours. That is all that I can offer. I don't have much more. Sometimes it gets a bit extraordinary because of the things I do. It's evening, so I had shown you I don't have dinner. For the past couple of weeks, I'm not having dinner. Instead, what I have is at around 6 or 7, I have tea. So today I had black tea and a double egg. I just spoilt myself. I mean, it was just a treat. I usually don't do this. And a double fried egg. Black tea and a double fried egg. I didn't also have lemons. But usually I'll not have dinner. Then I'm also cutting down on my sugar because I have to maintain my weight, to ensure also that I maintain a healthy BMI. Not only because of my HIV status, but because at my age now coming on to 60, it's very important for me to maintain my weight levels. I thank you again from wherever you are. If you are unwell and in hospital, I pray for your quick recovery. If you've lost a family member, my sincerest condolences. May God comfort you with a peace that surpasses understanding. If you're going through any trauma, through any hopelessness in your life, reach out to people. If you're able to watch any social media that has encouragement, motivation, do so. If you have neighbors who are near to you and people who you feel you can reach out to, just go out, get out of the house. Do not lock yourself in the house. Most of all, to get encouragement. For those of you who are into new relationships, I'm very keen about talking about relationships because I'm in a time of my life where I'm feeling lonely. I've had life partners before, and I know what it means to have a life partner with you. So I'm at a point where I'm free. I've established myself as an individual, and I think I'm ready to get into a partnership with somebody. And so I value, I won't say marriage, because partnership is not always about marriage. Sometimes it's about cohabitation, sometimes it's about friendship, just deep, lasting friendship. But for those of you who have found new love, I wish you all well. For those who are looking, please don't give up. The universe always has somebody who is matching up to you. And for those of you who are my supporters, who are giving me so much loyalty by being subscribers, keeping on watching my videos, I can see the viewership is up, subscriptions are up. Mbarikiwe sana. I'll close off here, and all I can say is that God bless you and greatly protect you. Thank you very much. Bye. Mwah.